Hi, I'm Chef Matt Canter from the Art Institute of Charleston for thepostandcourier.com, and today we're going to be making some braised veal shanks with some roasted winter root vegetables. So we'll start off by, we have these beautiful veal shanks here. We're going to season with some salt and pepper. I like to use kosher salt and always fresh ground black pepper. Season both sides. I have a pot for braising these dishes already turned up to high heat. I'm going to add just a little bit of canola oil and about a tablespoon or so of whole butter. Right about the time when that starts to brown a bit, we'll add our shanks, still keeping it on high heat. Obviously we're going for a very dark, rich, crusty sear. Whenever you're braising anything, the darker the sear without burning, the better. So we're also going to be featuring this with some caramelized root vegetables. We have these beautiful wintertime carrots, some baby globe, turnips, red beets, and baby golden beets as well. Perfectly fine to go a little darker than that. As soon as we have a decent sear on these, we'll take them aside and take our onions. About 2 cups of onions, roughly. Nice rough chop on these. Doesn't have to be anything perfect. Doesn't have to be gorgeous. About 2 cups of onions. About 1 cup of celery. About 1 cup of carrots. All kind of roughly diced the same size for our mirepoix. This is where we're going to achieve a lot of the flavor for our braise. About a little pinch of kosher salt, a little pinch of pepper. Don't necessarily need to brown this all the way. Get a nice light toasted brown color on there. Okay, right about now we'll add another 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. Let that get nice and melted. We'll sprinkle about a half a cup of flour over top of the mirepoix to have kind of the base for our sauce, our roux. You can always tell when the roux is cooked enough because the whole room will start to smell a little nutty, like toasted hazelnuts. Okay, so now we're going to take our red wine, about 2 cups. As soon as that comes up to a boil, we'll add our veal stock or any other brown stock that you can buy in the store. Perfectly fine. This just happens to be a nice roasted veal stock. We'll take our veal shanks, add them back to the braising liquid. Doesn't need to cover the meat by any means. It's perfectly fine to have it roughly 3/4 to about 80% over top. So when our veal shanks have come to a boil, we basically just take a little bit of foil, or if you have a pot lid, that's even better. Put it in the oven for about 3 hours at roughly 300 to 325 degrees. Since we'll have plenty of time to do other things while that's working, we're going to make some beautiful roasted winter root vegetables to go with that. So again, we'll start with just a touch of canola oil to get that nice caramelization. So once our saute pan with canola oil comes almost to a smoking point, we're going to take some of these beautiful baby red beets. Hear that sizzle? That's what we want to hear. A couple of golden beets as well. Some baby carrots. And some of these white turnips that we've just cut into these half moon shapes. Give that a toss. Add just a touch of butter. We want to get that nutty creaminess from the butter as well. Don't worry about the beets bleeding red into the turnips. Perfectly fine. A little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper. Once that butter melts, we're going to put this in the oven for roughly 20-30 minutes. Doesn't take a whole lot of time, just until those vegetables are nice and soft. When the vegetables come out of the oven, be nice, roasted, dark brown. We'll just finish those with a little bit of herbs. We got some chopped thyme, chopped parsley, and some chopped rosemary as well. and we'll set these aside. So once our braise comes out of the oven, got our nice, beautiful sauce that's been thickened up by that roux. See, I can hardly even pick it up with tongs. It's falling apart from that slow cooking. Tons of flavor. Don't forget about the marrow and the bone. Don't just give that to the dogs. Some more of that sauce over top. And we can take these vegetables and just basically put those around. Finish that with a little bit of fresh chopped herbs as well. So here we are. We have the braised veal shanks with roasted wintertime root vegetables. Perfect dish for a cold winter afternoon. I'm Chef Matt Canter for the Art Institute of Charleston for postcourier.com.